He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the LSRL F1 Racing League Round 11 from Watkins Glen. I'm James Parfitt and I'm going to be joined in the booth by the one, the only, the Mr. Mighty Dean Biggles this evening. Hope you are well. Welcome in, Dan Peoples. Why are you not in bed, you crazy fool? Dylan Godaz as well. It was just Anthony's there, buddy. The track itself, 5.41 kilometres, set in the city of Watkins Glen in the USA. Now, I watched these cars earlier. They are attacking the chicane at the top part of the circuit in 6th gear. They are absolutely flying through it like absolute banshees. It has been an absolute incredible watch here during practice. We are literally coming to the end of practice before we go into qualifying. I think it's time we brought Dean into the booth, otherwise he's going to sit there and be all silent and get a little bit stressed. So welcome in, Mr. Biggles. How are you, sir?
I'm great, thank you very much. I'm sitting here just enjoying the introduction, of course, to much more of our motor racing. Why not? To Formula One. This is the only Formula One I cast a week, my friend. So I look forward to Lightspeed Racing Formula One every single week. I love the other motor cars, don't get me wrong, and other motorsports, but Formula One is the pinnacle of motor racing.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's going to be interesting next season, of course. You know, we're here sitting at Watkins of round 11. Round 12 is at the Nürburgring on the 29th of March. Then round 13 is at Detroit. 14 is at Suzuka on the 12th of April. 15 is at Gilles Villeneuve. And then 16 rounds out the April the 26th. Put a date in your diary. It is the season finale at Interlagos. So
yes.
There we go.
I was about to say, James, I was waiting in anticipation for that one. I'm going to say, I didn't hear Brazil in here yet. Come on, Interlagos. Remember back in the days when it used to be the last track? Oh. And I think I'd have to say most drivers out there, and if you've got a second to chat, or you can chat and drive at the same time, let us know about what are the drivers' favorite tracks or your favorite tracks out there as well too in the chat world, the virtual world.
Well, mine's Interlagos.
Yeah, go.
I do like
it. It is Interlagos, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's great, mate. It's classic, isn't it? Up and down, roller coaster, heavy braking zones, plenty of overtaking areas. It's just got all the goodies built into a moto track. But today, we're not there yet. We've got a few more rounds to go. But of course, this used to be the old Formula One track, remember, too, mate. This would be a great Formula One track. We've been over this before. If obviously they had the money to put 10,000 grandstands in and sell 1 million tickets so Formula One can make more money and update the circuit for safety rise, it would probably be on par to Coda or something like, maybe a little bit better than Coda. Certainly going to be 10 times better than Las Vegas and Miami. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's a late pit lane entrance there.
Daniel Johnson, he come off the wall. He come off the wall and bounced back across the track. That could be why he's stuck where he is.
Yeah.
This track would be so much better than Vegas. Yes, it would be. Says the Dan Rocco.
It goes up and down, you see. It's not just going to go flat. Or even back in the early Vegas car park in Caesar's Palace when they did try that years ago, and that was a horrible track.
Mate, I am just waiting for the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of July to see how NASCAR gets on around the Chicago street circuit.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's going to be the first race weekend at Chicago. Basically 2 squares joined by a line. together. That's it. So it's either going to be the NASCAR's equivalent of Monaco, or it will just be an absolute complete wreck fest of cars. So J Smart puts the times in at the top, 1:14.258 here this evening. Don't forget we have got a 3-lap sprint before we come to after the 15-minute quali, and then we got a 31-lap race. Okay, so 31-lap race there as well. So we're going to be absolutely flying along quite nicely, I'm sure, as we're going into 3 minutes. So let's see and see how we get on. Borg in second place, of course. But what do we reckon? Do we reckon the NASCAR are going to make... there you go. Dan Recco's got it. How can we make NASCAR even more boring? They go and stick it on two
that's kind of
scores.
like one of those drift tracks, isn't it, really?
Mate, it
Where you
is.
just go straight up, just go drift around a corner and straight back down the other end, like as you mentioned. So that's all it is.
Yeah, it's literally two boxes joined by a straight in the middle, put at different angles, that's it. If you put two boxes on a piece of paper, draw two boxes and then draw lines across from the top corners, that's basically the Chicago street circuit. It is terrible. And we put the
Sweet home
LSRL.
Chicago.
Yeah, they went. The LSRL went here with a GT3 earlier on in the season. Wow, it was just, yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So
Now, James, what isn't good is the fact that there's no my Colombian driver's not on the grid this evening. It's just all North America here at the moment with USA and Canada.
yeah, he did say earlier on that due to work changes, that John Silver was not going to be able to make it. Hola, amigos. I can inform you that due to the change of the time zone that affected me, so I'm going to miss the next couple of races. It was really awesome to race and have those battles to hear on the broadcast. The Colombian, that made me proud. Love you all. See you all soon. So that's what John
I'll tell you what,
Silver
give us your
posted.
boss's number. We'll make a few calls there and we'll get that schedule rescheduled for you. How's that sound? So you can race.
Get that
first.
schedule rescheduled.
Get that schedule rescheduled, yep, yeah.
Yeah. Pace Car City, says the Dan Redcoat. That's exactly what it will be, mate. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be.
You imagine the pile-ups in each of those
Mate,
two corners,
don't.
essentially.
That's the thing. That's what they're saying. It's either going to be one just complete and utter mess, or one snooze fest of a race. There's going to be no in between. As you see, the drivers here as well. Top 10 setting times currently out at the moment. Zachary Kokis has just about to come across the line. What is he going to be able to do? He's currently sitting in 6th place on a 1:15.872.
Jay looks like he's going to go faster too, mate. Look at those purple sectors.
Yeah, Jay Smart again. He's just flying this year, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He's just annihilating it.
He's got one hand on the trophy, mate, already.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
1:13. Gee,
yeah, only
man.
man in the 13s now.
He's going to be the only man as well. Now, we've got Dylan Gonaz this week, has kindly volunteered to become our driver.
I was waiting for this. I was just about to ask you about this, James.
Yeah, Dylan Gonaz. There we are.
Hey, Dylan. Give us a wave.
He probably won't be able to hear us. I don't know if he actually listens to the broadcast while he's driving, to be fair.
That's how you find out, isn't it? If they are.
Yeah.
They will give us a wave.
Yeah.
Dylan, don't look, but there's a massive big tarantula on your shoulder.
Yeah, not interested. And you know, he's the only man that we've seen so far without racing gloves on. He's got no racing gloves on.
Oh, yeah, true. Some people, and what about, we can't see whether or not he's used socks or bare feet too, or shoes, because most drivers, like, usually a barefoot or socks, right, James, I think. Normally
Yeah, I'm
people
in
boots
socks. I'm in socks.
on. Yeah.
But that's, well, it doesn't really matter what I wear, to be honest. I still can't drive fast.
What rig does he have?
He's got a triple, isn't he? I'm not entirely sure what he's on wheel-wise. I think he's on a Fanatec wheel. I think.
He has a great collection of Formula 1 cars, I think, in that cabinet next to him as well.
Yeah.
Looks like Formula 1 cars.
He's another one, isn't he? He must be like bred different over there, or they stick him in compost or something. Because look at the size of him. He's another one.
I know.
I know, between Zachary Kokis and him last week, Zachary just looked like an absolute lumberjack. Apparently we got to shout out Zachary's wife because she was laughing at what we were saying last week about him being a lumberjack and whether or not he'd look good in a checkered shirt. Apparently, according to his wife, he will. But Dylan is another man, and they're not no small beanies over there, are they?
I mean, they come from good stock in the States, you know.
Yeah.
They keep all you guys in the UK looking like you're twigs, and us in Australia looking like we're twigs.
Mate, there's more. I've seen more fat on a Robin Redbreast than there is on me, so it really makes no difference. You know what I mean? So,
Well, this is another thing we're going to announce too at the moment, James, because we're coming down the dying stages of our qualifying. We're about halfway through, but there should only be a couple more laps for drivers to go. Is that we're going to make them have to drive back into pit road after a qualifying lap and come. No, none of this pulling off to the side and pressing the magic return to pass go, which is AKA pit road. Make them drive back.
yeah.
And if you do damage your car out, if you bend it into that fence or the fence bends it into you, you're out. Of course, that it'd be too hard to police that, wouldn't it? Because we'd have to keep an eye on every single one of those drivers at once.
Right, I think Dylan's going for it now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Into turn 1 on the brakes at the 50. Oh, 4th gear, 5th on the exit. Stay over there, Sunshine. We're on a flyer. Oh, we kind of want to tighten up a bit. Turn early. Good lad. There we go. Watch this through this bus stop if he takes this at full. Mate, they were flying through it earlier on. Absolutely flying. Look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, he's got a little bit wide. Oh, that's one of the Shy Line boys on the left-hand side. I think we've only got... Oh, no, Mason Sagar and Ryan O'Connor is here. So it could be either of them. The pace of this, if they're going 1:13s, that 31 laps is not going to take them long at all.
Nope. And the 3 laps are going to be blinking, you miss it.
Mate, yeah. I'll just be talking
It's
about
going to
the
be
start
crucial
and
for
the
pole,
finish.
mate. Absolutely. Front road's going to be absolutely crucial here.
Where are you going? Oh, there's adjusting something on the steering wheel. Not Andy, do that, mate.
You look at the car; it's very smooth. You're not, and there's not a lot of fighting with it. You can see you can see he's turning into it, and it's not just having to overcorrect or sort of stuff. It's just I think it's going to just be smooth operator one-on-one on this track to put in the best of the banker laps.
I think the problem is he's trying to get a smooth run, isn't he? He's tried twice now. We've been on board with him, and he just can't seem to get a smooth run off it. He nails turn 1 near enough. It's a slight little bump over the exit curve there. He might just pick up a slight off track for that. Gets the run up here. He's got to nail this chicane. 6th was what they were taking it in earlier on. They were literally hitting the brake and coming down 2. Whether or not he's trying to do something a little bit different. He's got purple in 1. Not early.
There
Oh, hold it off. There is, yeah.
Got it through that.
So he should technically...
And look at that too, my friend. He's got purple sector for it as well. Just got a orange mini sector 2.
Get out the way, get out the way!
Traffic!
Oh!
Yeah. Now, he's not going to be a happy camper about that one, and that was definitely...
He's
I'm
just
not
put
quite
his
sure
head
who that
down as
was.
well.
Yeah.
He
Now they're having a
knows it.
town meeting about it.
Zachary Kokis, you are responsible. And he put his head down as well, look.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the reaction of a man who's just gone and crashed into somebody there as well. Zachary Kokis, you naughty boy. What are you doing? I suppose
They're going to have an arm wrestle now.
Oh, yeah, they can
Arm
both, can't
wrestle.
they? They can both tackle on it, you know what I mean? Go and do it. See who's going to win. Both of the lumberjacks there from the LSRL arm wrestle competition. That'd be a good way to settle settling disputes, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Right, guys.
He's got time. Does he? He should have time for one more lap, I would imagine. So you just
mate,
you
he's
get
got
your
loads.
head. Yeah. So J Smart going a little bit quicker in some of those sectors there.
it's not
Just
now.
testing the waters, but no. I mean, but still the only man in the 13th. And you said probably, maybe the only man in the 13th as well. We shall see.
I tell you what, that'd be such a good rule for a steward for a league. The only way you can argue with each other is by having an arm wrestle. Oh,
I reckon paper, rock, scissors.
Elliot
There
Morgan.
you go. Yeah. Hey,
What
this
is it
very
called?
Expensive. Paper, rock, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, whichever way you want to say it. Exactly. There you go. Settle it that way.
Yeah. Set of rock, paper, scissors, your fault. Okay, cool. Well done, you. Thank you. I'm sorry. That'd be the end of it. That'd be a great way to do stewarding. Be so well relaxed. Grigor Georgiev here is sitting currently down in 12th place on a 1:15.73. Not really setting the timing tower alight currently at this moment in time. Mason Sager from Shyline is following his teammate, Mr. Ryan O'Connor. Ryan, of course, we can have a quick look at as well. He's also volunteered for us there in VR. So he's got racing gloves on. He's down in his basement. Mind you, his basement is about 2,000 square feet. And,
I was going to say, it looks like an aircraft carrier hangar bay more than anything.
Well, he's told me about this, mate, and literally I googled 2,000 square feet, what I could put in it. I could actually build a 3-bedroom bungalow in his basement.
Wow.
With two bathrooms, a utility room, kitchen, dining room, living room, and I could, put a 2-bedroom bungalow in his basement.
It looks like he's got a whole home theater set up there and everything too. With a big sofa there, and probably sits down there and watches everything on the IMAX screen that he's probably got installed down there as well.
I think he needs to do a little bit of decorating. There's some cladding showing in the back there, Mr. O'Connor. I think maybe we need to sort that one out. Get some chipboard over the top.
I think he might be listening to us too. If you'd give us a wave, if you are. Sounds like he's got a bit of a smile on his face. He might have a bit of a giggle. Well, give us a wave when you can. Don't take your hands off the steering wheel when you're going through the corners.
It's only qualifying. Stop it. You got your lap in. What are you moaning for? You're in 6th place. Give us a wave. Hands up if you're listening, Mr. O'Connor. No, he's talking to somebody. He's not happy. Yeah. He's not an happy bunny, but he could do a little bit of decorating down there. Now, he did offer for me to come over, and he offered me this room to live in. It's a long way. It's a long way to go. I did say to him it's a little bit drafty. You can't just give it to me in this current state, mate. I'm a bit of an uptown boy. I do need a little bit of decorating. You know what I mean?
He could Airbnb that whole basement out there and charge a couple $1,000 a week easily with him and square space that there is.
Exactly. He obviously don't go training with Zachary Kokis and Dylan Gonez. You know what I mean? He's looking a bit more like my stature. Bless him. There he is. You know, looks a bit more like me. You know. So there we go. Ryan O'Connor is going to be the one on cams as well. So thank you to that. And our third and final cameraman is Anthony Giuliano. Of course, league admin Lino. He is going to be here as well. So we will pick up with the three of these as the evening goes on. So much love to them guys for coming in and doing this for us.
A lot of VR drivers, isn't there? Like a lot of VR drivers.
What do you feel about VR? You a VR kind of man?
They could turn their monitors off, mate, and he wouldn't even know it. I don't know. I've never used it. I heard it's great. If you've got a good card and all that sort of stuff and it's all set up perfectly, I heard it's absolutely amazing. But it's all about the equipment that you need
definitely
to get it tweaked right.
Right, that is the end of quali. Here is the grid. Jay Smart is in first, Ryan O'Connor second, Matt Miller third, Elliot Borg fourth, Kyle Herlitsky fifth, Dylan Gonaz sixth, Zachary Kokis seventh, Daniel B. Johnson eighth, Sean Atkins ninth, James Rep 10th, Mason Sagar in 11th, and Anthony Giuliano down in 12th place. And then beyond that in 13th, we've got Grigor Georgiev, Tyler Gatke, Lindsay Green, and Michael Kostick rounding out your grid this evening. Don't forget, we do go to a 3-lap sprint race. And then we go into a 31 feature. We will have a brief 5-minute break in the middle as well. So, that would be absolutely amazing.
Our fantastic camera work course presented by yourself there, James, putting on there as you see the little cameraman walking around on the track of Jay's car that's on the pole position. And Ryan is right next to him, the number 95 machine. It's going to be crucial, I think, for Ryan to be able to do something about Jay early. Otherwise, Jay's up the road there, bang. I don't think anybody's going to touch him in those 3 laps. So maybe even Mac Miller. All about that race launches, isn't it? Race starts. We've seen before how people have bogged down in the past. Not you, Elliot Borg. Borg, you know. But don't bog down, guys. You're going to get that clutch engaged and hit the loud pedal and hope the car sticks.
Now, here we go. We are underway here this evening. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And here's green, green, green. And Ryan O'Connor didn't go anywhere at all. He's bogged right the way down, and Jay Smart also got a bit of a slow getaway. Elliot Ball coming around now as well. He's trying to take the inside line on the run up the hill, but Ryan O'Connor manages to hold on to that one in this 3-lap sprint. That is it. That's all they've got. They've got 3 laps to go full bore and get it over and done with. We're not going to worry about time. We are on laps. And Ryan O'Connor's trying to take it too wide in the bus stop. That didn't work. Jay Smart's off. He's up onto the grass, and Ryan O'Connor. Oh, there was an accident in the back. Smart's gone round.
And teammates.
Oh.
It's massive.
They've all
3, 4,
gone.
5, 6, 7 cars. That is huge.
Oh,
Look at this, James. I thought the traffic was bad going upstate New York, but forget it. It's right here on track right now. It is jammed. Daniel out, Mason out, Anthony out, Grigor out, Lindsay out.
Yeah, that is one boom collision there as well. And I'm going to try and find where it started. I think it started here with Jay Smart. And we can have a quick look back at that now. So he goes and bangs wheels here with Ryan O'Connor, doesn't he? There's the initial contact. Now,
Yep.
Smart comes back. He runs wide, comes back onto track. And then him and his teammate, netcode spun him round. And then here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Every
more to come
man
too, look at
in his
that.
dog. Look at this.
That looks like an IndyCar pileup recently that we had. Cars are flipping upside down. There's somebody facing the wrong direction. There's T-bones.
There's 8 cars in the pits currently at this moment in time. So Ryan O'Connor is 9 cars in the pits. Oh dear. Zachary Kokis was the one with Jay Smart there who had the netcode issue and then got connected together, and poor old Jay went absolutely flying around, and then everybody else just come round. Kostic, Smart, Gonaz, Johnson, Sagar, Giuliano, Georgiev and Green all in the
I think
pits.
we lost James there for a second.
You've lost me? Where have I gone?
I'm not quite sure if I've lost James or we haven't. Let us know out there, Dan, if you can hear James.
Yeah, who can you hear, Dan? And let me know if we are both available and we are both talking. Tell us who you can hear, who you can't hear, and whether or not you can hear me on, whether or not you can hear Biggles, what the situation is. But currently on the left-hand side, we have got more cars in the pits, and we're on the final lap of the race with Ryan O'Connor from Shyline Racing out in front. Yes, we can both hear you. Can you hear both?
Okay, it's just me that can't hear James. I'm just going to come back in.
So that's Biggles gone and dusted. He can't clearly hear me. So hopefully he'll be able to jump back into the booth, and he might be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now, sir? He still can't hear me. But currently Ryan O'Connor has just been overtaken from by Elliot Borg. Sorry, well, we're trying to sort technical issues out there. We have just missed that one. And we are trying to sort out the techie issues on the final lap of the race. Sean Atkins is another one who's battling away with Zachary Kokis. So Sean there all at the same time battling away. Can Ryan O'Connor get this back? He was one of the main protagonists for the whole thing. He did. Him and Jay Smart had contact, and of course they put each other up in the air. So that's really a Smart O'Connor incident, and then basically there was just so many people behind it. So many. It was just chaos after that. So O'Connor is going to finish second. Borg is going to get the win. Borg took the victory. O'Connor in second place after being involved in that incident, and Matt Miller took third. So there we go. Hopefully the mighty Biggles will come back into the booth with me very, very shortly. James Rep is still out on track somewhere. There he is. Another one who was involved in the incident. Why are we checking my issues? If that's not going to matter to me. Thank you for the advice, but that won't matter to me. It's not my inputs if we were hearing each other. So there we go. And mine haven't changed. Right. Now here we go with the results of race 1. So Elliot Borg is your winner. Ryan O'Connor second, Matt Miller third, Carl Halitsky fourth, James Rett fifth, Tyler Gatke sixth, Zachary Kokis seventh. Then we've got Sean Atkins, Mason Sagar, Gregor Georgiev, Michael Cosset, Lindsay Green, Daniel Johnson, Anthony Giuliano, and Jay Smart. Everybody there all joined in, unfortunately, in that one big incident. So we'll just wait for Biggles to see if he's coming back into the booth, and we'll see if we can get him back in here as well. I'm going to make some correction changes at the same time. So bear with me 2 seconds while I just change some things around. And hopefully this should resolve some very untidy looking issues that I have here currently that I do not like. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to things like this. And I need to make changes. And if I need to make changes, then I need to make changes. So just bear with. Hopefully these changes won't break anything. I'm sure they won't. But
Oh, I'm back.
hello, you can hear me?
Yeah. Yes. So apologies about that one. Discord just decided to just throw a dummy at me, and I couldn't hear anybody or whatever. But yes. Sorry, because I was distracted with that. James, how did that race finish?
Well, Elliot Borg got past Ryan O'Connor in the end.
Oh. Well.
And Elliot Borg took the win, basically. So we have got a brief 5 little minute warm up currently. I wonder if I can get, where are you? Where's
Pharmaceutical? Is that? I mentioned that Dan was saying it there. Yeah, I heard my UPS go click 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 a couple of times. Says the power must have flickered a little bit and done something with the Discord. And I was trying to log into the Discord web version too, James, but my phone has been MIA, so that is impossible because it wants a verification code on my phone. It doesn't exist, but at least you're here.
I am.
And the pictures are still showing.
Yeah, there was a lot of everything. So...
Do we got any feedback on any of those drivers about that one? If you guys are aware of what just happened in that first
well,
lap.
I'm trying to get hold of... Let's see if we can pull Mr. Ryan O'Connor into the booth. Ryan, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
What was your take on that first lap incident with Mr. Smart going into the bus stop?
I don't know. I just reviewed the replay. I feel like I left him enough room on the right-hander entering the bus stop. He moved way far over to the left, and I already had the position for the second corner for the left-hander, so I don't know.
And then I presume you saw the chaos commencing after him.
Yeah, you know what? I just reviewed that with my teammate Mason. He got rear-ended by somebody who must have lost where his brake pedal was. I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
Yeah, it was quite chaotic after, and you were unlucky there. I thought you were going to have to win in the sprint race.
Yeah, I'm not the fastest driver on the grid here. Elliot was getting a really, really hot exit out of turn 1, way nicer than me. So yeah, I mean, it was hilarious just to watch the relative drop from like 0.6, and then he was right by my side. So good, good for him. Good speed for him.
Front row though for the feature race. What's the plan?
Track's really hot. So we got, let me look here. I'll tell you exactly where we're at. We're only at 29 right now. We were at 36 for quali though. I don't know. I think it's going to be a medium hard run for me. I do well on the harder tires.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Well, we will pop you back in with your guys. So thank you so much for joining us there. And we'll catch up with you soon, no doubt, buddy.
All right. Always a pleasure, guys.
And you take care, mate.
You too.
Right,
that was Ryan. Yeah, Gigi's on that with Ryan. So, do you think this is? Do you think at the moment, James, this is a preview of the Chicago Street Circuit to come?
Oh no! I don't
or is
think
that too soon?
They're not putting this on Chicago, bro. It's bad enough they put the GT3s on there, and then when they come and spoke to me about the GT3, they turned around and were like, "We're never doing that again, James. We are so sorry." I was like, "You should be. That was awful."
But you got to remember out there too, everybody is going to go for guts and glory, of course, in a 3-lap sprint because, you only have 3 laps to try to get stuff done. You will see, no doubt, and we have seen in the past, a lot more, let's say, less risk-taking, perhaps, for the feature race. So, yeah, I mean, that's just inevitable, isn't it? You definitely would go for opportunities, as you said before, too. You could see Jay Smart go a little bit wide, coming back on the track there, collide with teammates, and then there was just a domino effect after that one. But that's our warm-up session over, Mr. James, and we should get ready for our feature race.
Yeah, just going to wait for the grid to flick around and give me the correct grid. There we go. There's the double flick I've been after. Right. So Elliot Borg is in first place. Ryan O'Connor second. Matt Miller third. Kyle Halitsky fourth. James Rep fifth. Tyler Gatke sixth. Zachary Kokis seventh. Sean Atkins eighth. Mason Sagar ninth. Gregor Georgiev in 10th, Michael Kostick 11th, Lindsay Green down in 12th place. Beyond that, we got Daniel B. Johnson, Anthony Giuliano, Jay Smart at the back with Dylan Gonaz as well. So, ouch. That's all I can say about them guys, because they've got a long way to try and come through.
Mediums, and only Daniel on the hard tyres so far to start the race. Remember, mandatory pit stop is required, but softs and mediums seem to be the choice. But look at that, Elliot Borg and Mac Miller seems to be the only ones at the moment starting on the softs, James. Over to you. Race time.
Right. Okay, lights are going out. 4 lights, 5 lights. It's green and away we go here at Watkins Glen. Ryan O'Connor's got an amazing jump there. He's got past Elliot Borg. He's on the mediums. Borg is on the softs, of course. Borg is going to have that inside line for the run up the hill. Are they going to leave room? Because we saw this on the first lap of the last race, and it didn't go too well for Jay Smart there and everybody else that was involved in that incident. There was about 8 cars. Cannot leave the door open. Matt Miller's going to have that door off you, Mr. O'Connor, if you give him room there as they come through the bus stop for the first time. Everybody seems to be making it through, apart from James Rep and Gregor Georgiev. Rep is into the pits already. Georgiev is there, and Michael Kostick is at the back as well. What has happened to these guys off the start?
They had an accident at the very start there, James. That's we can obviously go back and have a look at that one because we wanted to see how that battle was definitely growing up there with the soft runners there of Elliot Borg and Ryan, and as well as Mac Miller. But keep an eye on the back here, James. You will see, I think a little bit further back as they went into turn 1, I saw a couple of cars flying off into the fence. So
well, this is James Rep.
Is there contact here? There?
No.
I saw the lockups, but somebody goes there. There's one goes around. There's also somebody else, I believe. Or they come back on track, or that could be it. No, there's another car there.
Gregor Georgiev.
So there was another collision.
Yeah. Gregor Georgiev and Michael Kostick coming together as well, but unfortunately for James Rep, there he's gone round, and that's killed the end of his race. Up front, Elliot Borg is broken away from Ryan O'Connor. Matt Miller sitting in 3rd place currently. There is a nice little tidy battle down here with the teammates from the Clutches of Wales, Zachary Kokis and Jay Smart, of course, battling away on the same team. Team orders, do you reckon there, Biggles, or do you reckon it's just to go straight, go for it?
No, this is go for gold, I'd say. Otherwise, it would be a complete left, and there it is off the J into the fence. And I didn't see contact, but that could be,
There was.
You reckon? Oh, okay, look at that. He's stuck to it. It's absolutely beached.
Yeah, there definitely was contact. If you have a look, I'll put it on the chopper, I think, on this one. But there was definitely contact going on there, and unfortunately for Jay Smart, he's not had the greatest of evenings to start this one off.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there was a passport for entering in upstate New York, he'd be tearing that one out of his passport, the stamp, at least. And yeah, what's going on here? Let's have a look.
I wonder if that's Gonaz. It is. Gonaz behind and Smart are coming together. So Smart is on our right currently at the moment. Kokis is going through. So Smart takes the normal running line, and then, netcode again.
Yeah, I was going to say, they look like netcode because it didn't look like there's actual contact, but that's...
2 lots of netcode for Jay Smart. But unfortunately, O'Connor is in the pits as well. He's just had another incident. Sorry, Biggles there, but O'Connor's just gone crashing out of 2nd place. All on his own. Oh, no. He's going to be on the gas too early here.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, he's run wide. Oh.
Yeah. Oof. That's high speed too. Luckily, I don't think anybody else got collected in that one.
No. Unfortunately for O'Connor, he is in the pits, but there's a nice little tidy battle down here with Sean Atkins. Tyler Gatke is in the front, leading us away, of course. Tyler there, as we can see, looking back at Sean Atkins currently at this moment in time. Atkins being chased down here by Mr. Zachary Kokis.
Oh, so someone's gone off, I think, there.
Dylan Gonaz.
Somebody's coming off out of the exit.
Yeah, Dylan Gonaz has gone. Zachary Kokis went round first, and then I believe Dylan went behind him. So we can have have a look
This
at
has
this
turned
one.
into a very expensive race for the teams. Multi-million dollars worth of cars passing the fence. What's happened here?
Kokis is up front. He goes off. Oh, Gonaz tries to stop hitting him, slams the brakes, and then unfortunately, game over. So, yeah.
That also looked like perhaps a little bit of, well, it's also, you know, reaction time, but also could be the old net code there as well. It looked very similar too, but who knows? There is DRS activated on this track. You can see the little box open there for Mason. Currently, at the moment, running in P4. Remember, they have to make those pit stops as well. Soft runners, Elliot Borg and Mac Miller, everybody else on those mediums. So once again, pay attention to the scoreboard. That is correct with the tyres. What you see on the car may not be reflective of exactly what it is.
Yeah, and there are the interval gaps. As you see, Atkins, Giuliano are close together on track currently in a moment. Kokis here, lap 4 of 31. This isn't going to be a very long race here, Biggles. We're doing 1:31 lap times. I can tell you that 1:13 lap times. Oh, 1:15s at the moment. They're not quite down in 30s just yet. 1:15 lap times here, bud.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's Dan out there said he would have gone medium to soft. Well, some of them will be. Because people on hard tyres right now are because they had that early incident, so they're just going to go to the tyres and go straight to the end of the race.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, if some of them come out and they're not on hards, I'll be very surprised.
Ooh, switcheroo. He's going to be last. Oh, that's going to be... I was going to say about that one. Is that Zachary, mate? It's... yeah, it's difficult to get that car stopped in time on that one, but you're throwing your opponent off, aren't you? You're playing those blind games, psychological games, what you want to do here. Anthony's picked up on that one, but there it is. Anthony got a lift off a lead through. That doesn't look like a lift. It just looks like he wants to fight him another time.
Yeah, it did look like he had a bit of a DRS there as well. So, you know, fortunately, there's not a lot they can defend against, is there, when it comes to the DRS? It's just sort of too overpowering.
Love those cameras there as you drive over my very expensive GoPro. Thank you very much, James, for that. You owe me a new one.
That's what I mean.
Sensation of speed, of course. You get the idea of it when the camera's parked onto the side of the apron as the cars scream over it. Full speed. There's Zachary looking over the rear wing right now of Anthony that he just got the job done, but then Anthony's coming back, making a little bit of mistakes like that, Zachary. Can't afford that many.
Yeah, Kyle Halitsky looks like he's in a nice little tidy battle as well. It's back out to about half a second at the moment. So he did get it down a little bit, but let's see what Kyle's up to as we go onto his front wing. There we go. Well, not his front wing, his front... What's that?
Here we go. Yep. T-cam, essentially. Yeah. So the blue balls, we went from one blue balls to the other. Here we go around the outside, which will turn into the inside. We're going to right-hander. I don't know this track like the back of my hand, but I do know that's an overtake, James.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, I spoke a little bit too soon. That was on me there, Kyle. Sorry.
Yeah, what was it you said? I do know that that's an overtake, but I also know it's somebody into the wall currently at the moment. Elliot Borg is just absolutely running away with it up front. He's got a 4.6 second gap. Matt Miller, 3.18. Mason Sagar behind him as well. Sean Atkins, and then we've got Tyler Gatke. He's currently chasing down Sean Atkins. Looks like Zachary Kokis has just had another one, and he's dropped all the way down the order very, very quickly. It looked like there could have been about a good 2 or 3 cars involved in this. Anthony Giuliano may have been one of them as well, so we'll have a look and see where we pick up here to start off with.
Yeah, Dan, you're right out there. It looks like a Racing Point car. That's not Zachary's car, but Zachary's gone into the fence here a little bit. I think he's kept it. No. Oh, there's contact with the racing car. With the
Racing
Point livery-esque, which is blue ballers.
Yeah.
Zachary's not having a great day, is it? Put it this way, the clutches of Wales racing team are not having a good day here in upstate New York.
Yeah, definitely not at the moment. So there we go. Some people have survived. Others have had to go into the pits. Michael Kostick has been in. Anthony Giuliano's in. Kyle Halitsky's in. Lindsey Green's been in. Ryan O'Connor's in. Dylan Gonaz has been in. Jay Smart's been in. James Rep's been in. Zachary Kokis is still in and has been in already. So that's his second one in there. Now for poor old Zachary. Not having a good night of racing currently at this moment in time here. It's all got a little bit little bit awry, should we say. I think that's the only way we can put that, really, Biggles.
Yeah, you're right. I was just curious about the championship standings. I'm not quite sure. Did we have a chance to look at those championship standings earlier there or not, James? Because it's definitely going to switch things around a little bit right now with the likes of Dylan Gonaz and Jay Smartle, say, down in 13th and 14th. Elliot Borg, of course, on top of the timesheets, top of the race. Crucial for him. While there's a little bit of a gap in this race, we're still expecting to see some of his pit stops, at least from the top 6 drivers, as well as Grigor, the 11 machine. He has to take a pit stop. Everybody else has made a mandatory pit stop.
Yeah, sort of settled down a little bit as well now. There's a bit of gaps occurring all the way across the field. Sean Atkins here from the Victoria's Secrets. Shiloh Mason, Mason Sagar, who's just up the road, about 8 tenths currently at the moment. Atkins trying to close him down, of course. So, yeah, it's a weird one, this, because for a circuit that you'd think would be quite simple, quite basic, you know, quite easy for them to be able to control the car, Biggles, and they're not really doing that, are they? They've been off, they've been spinning, they've been, obviously we saw, you know, the 3-lap sprint beginning that was just absolutely chaotic. You know what I mean? It's not been an ideal night of racing as such.
It's been obviously a really tricky track, and those temperatures that we heard before too, probably are playing a little bit of a factor here. It's yeah, and you got you know some of the best drivers in the business here making mistakes, so it is definitely grueling and punishing. Dan's still awake; he can't go to sleep. He's excited.
Seems like a race where just surviving will give you an acceptable result. To be fair, yeah, probably. At the end of the day, there's no reason why these guys wouldn't survive and wouldn't sort of, you know, make it through to where they need to be, because at the end of the day they get points all the way down into 21st, and with 16 cars on track they're all going to get points, so you know, and they get bonus points for fastest lap.
It is your new Netflix series. It's your new Drive to Survive for sure. Just trying to bring the car home to see Barney waving the flag. I think this just everybody's just pushing it, you know, and our race drivers, you always try to push it to the maximum of your ability, and I think a lot of the drivers have realised at the moment probably pushed it a little bit too much and are starting now to back down a little bit on those lap times, just to realise, all right, you know, too many incidents so far. Let's just like somehow, and I hate, you know, drivers don't like to use the word lift, but maybe lift a little bit on the gas pedal. In the background, and that's just a clear overtake there allowed.
Yeah, that's a move that didn't really need to happen, to be fair, to allow Anthony Giuliano back through. He was a lap down, so really, from Atkins' point of view, he could have pushed on to Sagar. That 8 tenths has now gone to 2.5 seconds, which seems a bit of an odd move for me. I don't quite get why that would have needed to be done. But there we go.
Pit stops, perhaps, are going to come and play for them. They're going to be working that one out soon. They still have to make their pit stops. You see the track map, it's all spread out.
Yeah, they are spread out across the track at the moment. Seeing if Giuliano can catch up to Sagar in front, of course. And then that might, I suppose, on that way, help Sean Atkins get there as well. But Atkins has got to keep it a little bit tidier than that. Otherwise, it's not going to work out for him. I
think Grigor had a crash as well too, my friend.
Somewhere
along there.
Grigor Georgiev has had what looked like quite a big one, to be fair. So here he goes.
Is this going to be the classic where it's taking some victims here?
Yeah.
Coming out of the corner here. No, even before the corner. Boom.
Last corner. Just didn't make it out, did he?
Oh, can he drive it in? The pit road is right there to the right. Can he can't turn it.
No,
he's got no steering.
He had to go.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 for trying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it seems to be not some of these drivers' days here, as we're on lap 11 with 20 laps remaining of a circuit on a 1:15. Sagar and Giuliano again. Giuliano is looking to get a lap back on Sagar. Hopefully, from Atkins' point of view, it might have pulled him up, but it looks like Atkins has dropped more off than it has bringing him forward currently at this moment in time. So unfortunately for Sean Atkins, it didn't quite work out as it should have done there either this evening. So, which is a bit of a shame, but let's see how he can get on as he's sitting comfortably in 4th place at the moment.
And on his last lap, he lost about 1/10 to Mason Sager in P3. So that's, let's see, it can't obviously be afford to lose too much time in this battle. Whether or not he'll use it to his advantage or not, and allow him to switch her on through there and get some DRS. And Elliot Borg's in the pit road from the lead.
Yeah, Borg has gone in. That has released Matt Miller into 1st place currently. So Matt Miller is going through and takes the lead. Mason Sager will come through and take 2nd place. Sean Atkins will get 3rd. Will Tyler Gatke get 4th? Yes. Don't forget the guys that have got a pit. Daniel B. Johnson there. Is he going to be able to go past him as well? It seems a bit of a long stop for Elliot Borg, I'm not going to lie. On the right hand side there, Michael Kostick. What's Elliot doing? Oh, he's on his way out now. Kostick's going to get him, I think, as well. No, just Elliot Borg comes out in 6th place. Seemed a long old pit stop that there, Biggles. It was.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was stationary 3.9 seconds, but the overall time was 36. Whether they're getting that information correct or not, but it just we obviously did look like it. We didn't have a stopwatch. We don't have Ted down there in pit road with that. In fact, we haven't had Ted this year, I don't think, in Formula 1. So something on there. Missing you out there, Ted. Actually, we had Dan, but I think Dan might have gone for a nap now. We'll get you down there with a stopwatch there, Dan.
Well, have we seen Ted in Formula 1 this year?
No, we haven't actually. That's what I was just brought in my memory, and we haven't. Like, they haven't had to cut Ted off.
Anything?
I had to check that one as well too, as Mac Miller goes in. So see whether or not Mac can come in and out. If that was as well as Mason Sager, if that was a slow pit stop from Elliot Borg, because it's a bit crucial here right now. See if we can get a jump on him.
It's a long run, by the looks of it. I'm not going to lie though. But Matt Miller.
Do you ever lie? You don't lie.
No, not really. Elliot Borg's going to come around. He's going to get the lead again. There we go.
Yeah.
Retakes, well, currently in 4th, but obviously others have got pit in front of him. Kostick is doing an absolute stellar job at the moment. He's currently sitting in 2nd, what would theoretically be paid points as 2nd place because he has pitted. So an absolute stellar job from Michael Kostick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw in the chat earlier, in the Discord, of course, you can sign up in the Discord if you want to be a part of Lightspeed Racing League, that he had some computer issues earlier, and he said he might not get through the race. So touch wood, it is working for you for the Broken Rings racing team. So whatever it is broken is not broken currently at the moment, because it's working.
I am wondering whether or not those tyres he's on, though, Biggles, where we don't see that stripe change, and he's sitting on the medium still. I'm wondering if he's got another pit stop to make and he didn't change tyres.
That's true. Only 2 drivers started on the soft tyres, wasn't it? And that was not Michael as one of them.
No, that's what I mean. I'm wondering if he started on the mediums and he's still on the mediums.
Or you could just be one of those little, it does it to us sometimes here in iRacing with the Formula 1 W12s where it kind of confuses us. Well, we'll find out in about 15 laps, I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to need to go in if he is going to go in. If he isn't, then he's already made his pit stop. So fair play to him. I'm trying to think whether or not he changed. I can't think what he started on, to be honest.
Dan said about 1.8 seconds that stop. Thank you, Dan.
What pit stop was 1.8 seconds? Nobody stopped for 1.8 seconds.
Before, when we were talking about those pit stops, I think between Elliot, Mac Miller, maybe he's referring to, or Kyle. Not quite sure. Dan knows.
No. Unless he's talking about Elliot Borg and Matt Miller. But
I'm talking about somebody that made a pit stop.
Oh, I don't know.
There's only 3 at the moment that haven't made a pit stop. Sean, Tyler, and Daniel in the lead of this in the podium positions. But of course, they're going to lose out to Elliot Borg because Elliot is what we're looking at. Gap, 49 seconds to the leader, if I'm reading that one correctly. That could still 11, come back out ahead.
11 seconds to Atkins. He's never going to make it.
Back.
Yeah. So there's the gaps to the leader, of course. 54 for Matt Miller, 17 for Michael, 10 for Elliot Borg, 9 for Daniel Johnson, and 2 for Tyler Gatke. So, and then down here is Carl Helitsky with Lindsay Green. Looks like Carl's going to try and go up the inside. He is.
Ooh.
Settle.
Jumping on the chicane there, mate. Yeah.
He hit that hard, mate, as well. So he needs to be a
will
little
do
bit
damage
careful.
to the cars. Remember, you might not necessarily, we don't see it so much up here, but you get into the fence in the background. is exactly what happens when the car goes a little bit off. But and that's Lindsay Green, unfortunately, another victim here. Watkins Glen. Oh, it's an expensive track today, that's for sure. For the manufacturers. Oof, Mercedes, man, you got a big bill right now.
Yeah, the grass on the outside. Yep. Once you start going, there's just no stopping you from that one, I tell you that much.
He's right near where they can back the car up too for the marshals. So
Daniel Johnson's got a tall order, however, he's got Elliot Ball tucked up right behind him at this moment in time. We've got 16 laps remaining here. Doors left open, Elliot. You might as well take it. Oh, man.
Yeah, but I think he's got to play careful here. Because in case you didn't get the memo on the radio, but there's been a lot of cars into the fence here, and there it is. He had to bide his time a little bit. Not a massive amount of fight, I don't think, that was put there, but because Daniel still has to box, remember? So he's like, well, there is no point in me fighting, trying to hold up Elliot at this point.
No, he still hasn't decided he's not going to, but then again, he did start on the hard tyres.
Yeah, he's on the hard tyres, remember? So he's going a long, long way, Daniel. He'll be able to go back and switch on those softs and start putting some banker laps in there. Wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get the fastest lap with some fresh soft tyres on and essentially running on vapors at that point too for your gasoline.
Elliot Ball there. Let's have a try and have a
Dan
catch up.
asked you out there, Mr. James, how many more rounds to go?
How many more rounds after this? We are at Watkins. We've got 4 more. Nürburgring,
My
5.
Discord just plays up again. So
Nürburgring, Detroit,
James,
Suzuka, Gilles Villeneuve, and Interlagos. So there we go. Mason Sagar battling away with Carl Halitsky as well. Sorry if I sound a bit hoarse this evening. I've got a wonderful touch of, I don't know, man flu. Not quite sure what you call it anymore. I tell you that much, because if I sneeze in public, next you know, people accusing me of all sorts. So there we go. I just think I've got a bit of a cold. But Mason Sagar is battling away with Carl Halitsky here. Lindsay Green, of course, has jumped to the pits. So I've lost Biggles again. Biggles, can you hear me? No. Biggles is having a very funky night on the internet, isn't he? Carl Halitsky here in 7th place with Mason Sagar behind him in 8th. I want to try and pick up on some of the runners that were, obviously we've got on camera, Ryan O'Connor, Dylan Gonaz and Anthony Giuliano. See, Gonaz is sat in the pits at the moment. I wonder if he is actually in the car. Because no matter, I'll probably have a look at him, and these guys will keep going. Ooh, nope, camera's off. Dylan is gone for the evening. So there we go. Carl Halitsky here with Mason Sagar. There is Halitsky in front, of course, from the Blue Ballers. Yes, they are in a pink livery. So let's see how he gets on. He's got to try and close up. DRS should be showing up on his dashboard very, very shortly. We can jump in board the cockpit and have a look. Here we go. Now he's going to go on this long run up the hill. There's one light to show it's been activated. Listen to the overpower he's going to get in a minute. It's going to go past DRS just about now. There we go. Pulling it. Takes the inside line.
Oh, contact, James. Contact.
Yeah, that was never going to work. Never going to work there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Engine's blowing as well. We're going to replay that in a second. Sorry about my Discord. Just decided to do its thing again, but once again, it's not affecting you and the broadcast. James, here we go. Let's have a look at it happening here, James. So I think he got the overtake done, but then he tried to sneak in just ahead, but of course cars are turning in. Can't see each other. It's a blind angle, remember. Those mirrors don't give you a lot in Formula 1. Drivers always complain about those mirrors, and yeah, you just don't know if the driver is going to take that opportunity or not. But do you think it was worth taking the opportunity? I think not.
You can't do what Sagar did. Like, he come off, and I'm going to show this again, and it's one that drives me a little bit crazy. He come off the corner, he got the overtake done, but then left no room on the inside. So where was he going to go? He can't go anywhere. He can't make the corner because you haven't given him room to make the corner. And unfortunately, that's the end result. And I'm sorry, Mason Sagar, but you've got to give him more room than that. You can't just close off Kyle and expect him to be out of magic room. He's not Harry Potter. It's not, you know, what it is. It's, you know, he's
Typical British. You have to get the old Harry Potter in. I understand.
yeah, he just can't, can he? There's Ryan O'Connor there. We're on board with Ryan now. He's trying to chase down Carl Halitsky. But you can't do that, can you? You can't sit back and say...
You have to do... Oh, what a fantastic camera angle. You have to do your off... You have to run off track, really, don't you, at that point, to allow the space. You have to go right over the chicane and take that. If you're going to take the gamble for the overtake, you have to go off the track a little bit and allow the space.
Yeah, if you're going to make it, you've got to go and give the guy room on the outside. You can't straight line the chicane when somebody else is going exactly the same speed as you into a corner. Into the same chicane, it just doesn't work. You can't
Where
do
did you
that.
mount this GoPro camera, by the way, too? Is that the rear wing at the bottom? It's just above the tyre. It's a fantastic camera. You don't get this anywhere else in the world. Trust me, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen out there. This is exclusive.
It's
to
on the
JP
short
Broadcasting.
arm. It's on the short arm out of the rear wing.
Yeah. Is that affecting his aerodynamic performance, do you think?
No, it's micro, mate. It's like a pinhead, isn't it? Nowadays, cameras are so small. Okay, it's just tuck it out on a little bit. They don't even know it's
so
there.
you got a small camera and a massive 200 square foot basement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, right.
But Ryan O'Connor's got 2,000 square foot basement. It's the size of his house.
Yeah.
2,000 square foot that you could build a 3-bedroom bungalow in. He offered it to me, but I told him he needs to redecorate because I can't sleep with that cladding on the wall outside like that. He's got to put more oomph into it than that. I'm sorry.
Picky, mate. He's offering
Mate,
you. He's offering you a room.
Mate, he's
offering you a mansion.
He's got to make it look gorgeous. You know, I'm a fussy Englishman, mate. You know what I mean? My butler Billy won't be happy in that room, I'll tell you that much. Oh, here we
Look
go.
at that little running wide up the road. There's a bit of opportunity here for Ryan as we're on his rear wheel.
Give him room.
Now here we go. Yeah, give room, please. Pretty please.
There we go. He's defended it as Kyle Halitsky, but only just, mind you.
Oh, well, he can't afford to make mistakes at the moment. And
Mate, it would be so scrappy.
Yeah.
Here they come. Woof, woof. Look at the speed
Shakes
of
the
that.
camera, the sensation of speed. Here we go. So opportunity to turn one. There is a lift for sure there from Kyle, I think. So yeah, he says, all right, mate. Okay. How about I get the DRS and come back at you on the attacking you? We're going to keep the cameras focused on this absolutely fantastic battle. So Sean Atkins has gone into the pit road finally, as well as Tyler. They're taking their last of the pit stops. The battle, as you can see on your pictures right now, is right here. And that's the blue balls that Kyle. Take the position back down, James.
Yeah, he's just got the position back again, but I think Ryan O'Connor is going to come at him once more. That was a DRS there as well. It was to be fair, Halitsky played it smart there. He let him go through on turn one and then took it back, coming back through it again. So from his point of view, it was a very smart move. Gatke, Atkins and Kostic have just gone in and put on soft tyres. Daniel B. Johnson has still not gone in, mind you, but he is up 11 places and he started on the hards. So he's got to pit at some point. I guess he's not really struggling on them hard tyres at the moment. I'm guessing they're giving him all the grip
the thing
he
is
needs.
too, James, if you're gonna have to box because you want to take advantage of those softs and try to gain time back. You don't want to wait unless he's already done his math and crunched those numbers and said, look, there's nothing I can do about potential overtakes. But you know, if you've got some fresher rubber out there and it's going to be quick, you've got to allow yourself enough time once again to get overtakes. Time's not on your side. About 11 to go.
Yeah, it's got to go in soon, I would have thought. Pit lane time currently are down to about 34 seconds, right? So where from Daniel B. Johnson
Dan's gone in just as you spoke.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think.
Dan, you're down there, mate. Give us the information.
Yeah, run down there, Dan. See what he's doing. I think Daniel Johnson, if he's quite lucky, he might come out behind Sean Atkins here. Sean's currently coming around turn 9 before he goes run to 10.
Will he beat
Atkins has
Michael?
already come out. No, he should. Oh my God, why are you still up on the jack? Get out. Ostic's coming around the final corner.
Yeah.
There we go.
Be careful.
There he is.
Be careful.
He's on the right hand side.
Yep, on the power now. Exiting. Now be very, very careful. We've got some cold tyres here. Gets on the gas. There it is. So did get ahead just out of Michael.
Yep. Third place.
And apparently there is no debate about the rear jackman there from Aston Martin.
Oh,
So
mate, that
don't
was a
worry about that.
ridiculous, absolute ridiculous penalty. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, thankfully it was revoked anyway. But yeah,
it was a ridiculous penalty.
They're getting really nitpicky now, aren't they? And little tiny things. And you get fair enough in that sport. Milliseconds can gain you advantage, but that's just at that point getting a little bit too ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like they turned around when I was watching the after program, and they were saying that these guys are used to doing things at such a fast pace. Oh!
Not like that! That's a blue ball into the fence, and that's Kyle.
Yeah, look at this.
No!
He's taking a bit of grass. I don't think he got it.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's just interesting because that was a great battle. Remember that we were watching there. And now is this? Yeah, the rear's going out here. Look, James, there it is. He's trying to hold it, but unfortunately, momentum, speed, physics equals fence.
Momentum, speed, physics
equals fence. Yes.
Equals fence.
Forgot the equals.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the equals bit. Equals fence, but unfortunately,
come on, mate. You're a teacher.
That's
right.
Thank you.
Car. It's just banged up, my friend. I'll tell you what, as I said, it's an expensive car. Park it at the moment. We've got 3 people on the pit road. Lots of damage.
People out all over the place.
That's coming out of your paycheck, this one, James. That's for sure.
Hey, I'll pay for this. Bro, I got $1 million to replace these little bits of carbon fibre that's gone flying off. I tell you what would be good, though. Souvenir day at Watkins Glen. You'd make a field day amount of cash going around picking up all this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Maybe we should get him to go in Monte Carlo there in a Jaguar, mate, and put some expensive diamonds on the front and the nose comb. Then I'd be definitely jumping the fence and grab that piece.
Yeah, but they lost that, didn't they? That's what creased me up.
That's the reason why somebody jumped the fence.
Funny.
Hey, some marshal at the moment is still there with the biggest smile on their face because it's never been recovered.
No.
That we are aware of. Probably sold somewhere on the black market. And that guy's just sitting there going, I'm retiring from marshalling, my friend. Because now I'm sitting on one of those expensive yachts in Monte Carlo because I just purchased it.
Good evening, Evan. How are you, buddy? Thank you so much for joining us. You are here for the LSRL round 11 from Watkins Glen. Elliot Ball currently out in front, Sean Atkins second, Daniel Johnson third, Michael Kostick fourth, and it has been somewhat of an expensive race for these W12 owners. There's been incidents and accidents, and there's been no fewer than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 incidents. And some people have been into the pits more than once, and others have been in incidents more than once. Zachary Kokas. So there we go. And unfortunately, you just missed. Carl Halitsky put it into the wall, spinning on his way round the outer loop there on turn 5. So, yeah, very interesting. 6 laps left. 1 minute 15 laps. So within about 7 minutes, this should be all done and dusted, and these guys can go and put their wallets away who have survived here, because otherwise they've got to pay out a fortune, haven't they, Biggles?
They will. And I was going to say, I want to touch wood on this one. Elliot Morgan's been driving this one flawlessly, but then again, the Costas curse can come thick and fast, Elliot. I hope it doesn't happen when we do talk about you. Because you've got such that gap at the moment, driving brilliantly. I have to say, too, Sean is also absolutely amazing. 66 machine up 6 places. And as I said, Daniel, that strategy, I'd have to say, has paid off quite well, isn't it? Starting on the hard tyres, getting 10 positions for the 23 machine, and somehow, once again, doing a great job keeping it out of that notorious fence here.
Yeah, and he's done well, to be fair. I think that's the interesting thing for Daniel. He started on them hards. Zachary Kokas has just got right up behind Giuliano. Race of attrition, I see. I'm good, thanks. Just about to put some practice laps in for the IGP Fun race this weekend. I bet you are. It's going to be an exciting one. Looking forward to that on Sunday as well. So it should be a really good one. And going at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with 60 cars on it is going to be a little bit manic. Yeah, mate,
we're lucky this is not an oval race at 2 at the moment, mate. There would have been, basically, this whole thing would have been caution, caution, caution. We thought the race would be over pretty quickly. It's 6 to go. Yeah, it would be like a 10-hour race right now if it was the oval with the cautions, but it isn't.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
More about safety cars.
Safety car, safety car, safety car, safety car, safety car. Blimey.
You would have to say, if this was in Formula 1 these days, I mean, I have to upgrade the circuit, but you'd probably have to say it could be a 100% chance of having a safety car.
Yeah.
Like there was in Saudi Arabia and, of course, Singapore. Yeah, 100% chance of safety cars on those tracks. No Singapore, of course, in iRacing and Saudi Arabia. I wish they do scan Singapore. We're going to close the street down for a circuit. What's happening, Ryan?
that.
Just like that. Have you got Ryan Cam on for us to have a look at
I
Ryan's
haven't
You can't
got
replay
Ryan
it,
Cam on for it now. I can have a look and see. He sat there still with his VR on, just chilling. So there we go. What about Anthony Giuliano? Anthony, of course, is another man that is on there as well. So Anthony doing a stellar job.
Yeah, everybody would prefer Singapore over Monaco. Monaco's a glorified go-kart track, my friend. I think everybody knows that one. It's only there because everybody wants to show off their expensive yachts, and that's where half of the drivers live, as well as the investors and all the owners of Formula One and jazz like that. So, yeah, it's their little party weekend, all right? And they're just like, yeah, let's just have a motor race at the same time.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, is it's not even, it never really turns into a good race, because the people that can actually race have retired or unfortunately died. You know, Senna, Prost, Mansell, Schumacher, you know, the good drivers that will actually put their, pick their balls up, stick them in the pockets and go for it. Now, you've just not got that. I just
can't overtake anywhere because the cars were so balanced as well too. Remember they had the turbo era back in the day, so that made a huge difference. That's why you even saw the differences like Mansell and Prost going at it and all that sort of stuff, Senna and Prost, and because they also had differences in the cars. They had the turbos, once again, the turbos would chew a lot of fuel, so they also try to fuel save. It was just a different ball game, of course. Once again, they're manually changing gears. They're not like just flicking triggers on their steering wheel. Even that was just difficult. But that's why Monaco, of course, they should have maybe ended it in the late 80s and early 90s and moved on. But fortunately, they're still stuck with it now in 2023.
Yeah, it's still a boring one. And they're just adjusting his VR. As he's got
average overtakes, mate, are about 5 to 6 at best in Monaco.
I do agree with Evan, that he's put in chat. He's put rain at Monaco makes it a little bit interesting. Now it does actually, because it allows people like it was Olivier Panis come through in a Ligier to the win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you need to rain. Like, they need pop-up sprinklers or something. Just like, because somebody gets out the fire hoses and just wet that track down and go, let's go. Halfway through a race, that would make it exciting, but unfortunately, that's up to the rain gods. Great to see all these different cameras of the drivers, and that's Barefoot Driver, as you can see currently at the moment, is with Anthony. So, yeah, we were kind of asking that question. He's bare gloves, mate. Bare fingers, barefoot. No gloves there, too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see when he won the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix, did Olivier Panis. When it was a rain-soaked, chaotic race.
Probably a lot of crashes, right? And a lot of yellow flags. Maybe as chaotic as this race has been so far, too.
Yeah.
With 3 to go.
It was quite interesting. It was, Olivier Panis from the Ligier team there. And the first ever to for the win for the Mugen Honda.
Only win? I think ever for the Ligier racing team.
Pretty much, Panis did.
This has been a debate while we have a little bit of a pause about, Formula One, as in allowing more cars and manufacturers into Formula One. People go, yeah, they should have more. And then some people are saying no. It's difficult because of the fact, remember, that they had, 24, even 26 cars back in the day. But look at all those teams like Prost, Ed Minardi, and all those teams over the years that have come and gone. Jordan got some success, let's say, some of the teams that always have just been running at the back and never really had much success. Do teams want to enter Formula One and practically have no chance, essentially, let's say, of getting anywhere? How many more years are they going to be able to do that before they're going to have to pull out and then...
Watch it for finances.
Yeah, obviously trying to make the sport cheaper, which is great with budget caps, but it's still that situation that comes down to that. And also remember, the bigger teams aren't going to want to allow anybody in because the pie has to be distributed the amount of money you get for points over the season. So,
but the thing is,
that means they're going to give some of that up.
If they're actually making it fun, that would be okay. Like, if it was actually interesting. Like, I watched the Grand Prix, but I watched it on highlights because I just get, I do that whole Grand Prix thing where I sit and watch the beginning, fall asleep in the middle, and then wake up 10 laps to go.
Keep an eye on Jay Smart too, mate, real quick there. Overtaking his teammate.
Yeah, he's just got past Zachary already.
Yes.
DRS.
But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you do go for a little snooze fest, don't you? And, 100% races.
Exactly. And I was looking back, I was looking for the one-season F1 teams. And unfortunately, you can't just get a list. But if you remember people like Leighton House, Lola, Ligier, There are a few teams there as well. Where's the what was the Spanish one that come in to it?
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember
Virgin
the name.
Racing was another one that didn't last very long. Toyota were in and out, and then you've got Sauber, which is now Alfa Romeo because it's been bought so many times. Benetton. Jordan was then Benetton, which I'm not even sure what they are now. Renault, I think.
Jordan is there. There's the penultimate flag being waved there by Barney. A lot better than Tim Cook could wave a flag, no doubt. But yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, once again, Jordan, like that, I think there still is a team. I'm quite sure. The Racing Point, isn't it, ended up being Jordan?
I don't know. They were Benetton, wasn't it?
confused.
Who took over Benetton? Was it Renault? I can't remember who got the Benetton team after. It was somebody somewhere. But, you know, there's been so many teams that come in that have just sat at the back. And it was just like, you know what I mean?
That's the debate, isn't it? Like, do you want to, does Formula One, obviously the association, want to allow cars to come in and then they're going to sit in the back and all they're going to do is complain?
Yeah.
And obviously the bigger teams are going to complain and say we don't want them in here because once again they're stealing some money away from our piece of the pie. So that's just a debate that'll go on forever. We don't know. We're not in Formula One, but you can kind of see some of the writing on the wall. That one writing you can see on the wall is Elliot Borg from the Bull Racing. You know that one.
He's going to
be seeing Barney on the wall before anybody else with the checkered flag.
Yeah, Elliot Borg coming round at the third to last corner now, going around the second one. Conway's making a point about Giuliano. Imagine having a wheel with an LCD screen when you're wearing VR because you can't see it anyway. But Elliot Borg is coming across the line, takes the victory there as well. Sean Atkins is going to get second place. And Daniel Johnson, I think, is the driver of the day for me. Up 10 places, starts on the hards, goes 10 laps. 10 laps. He went all the way to lap 21 on the hard tyres. He went into the pits, come out the pits in third place and stayed there. So for me, Daniel Johnson is the driver of the day, up 10 places here, the highest gainer throughout the day. So an absolute stellar job from Daniel Johnson there as well.
Johnson.
Yeah,
he's probably got arms like Dwayne Johnson as well, too, considering these drivers, but absolutely brilliant, stunning drive. But hopefully we get a chat. I'd say if we can get a chat to Daniel, because, you know, we need to hear from some of the drivers that are on the grid that have done a great job here today, and we know a lot of them have been sitting in pit road watching this one for most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. So we're just waiting for Tyler Gatke to come across the line and see how he gets on. He should just wrap it up, and it'll be the last man across the line in fifth place. There was a lot of outs, a lot of incidents and accidents here this evening. And there we go. Tyler Gatke does finish off his laps. So we can have a look at the final results. On your screen now, we've got Elliot Borg in first, Sean Atkins second, Daniel Johnson third, Michael Kostick fourth, Tyler Gatke fifth, Jay Smart sixth, Zachary Kokos seventh, Anthony Giuliano eighth, Matt Miller ninth, Mason Sagar 10th, Ryan O'Connor 11th, Kyle Halitsky in 12th, Grigor Georgiev 13th, Lindsay Green 14th, and Dylan Gonaz down in 15th place. And behind that is obviously James Rep in 16th. So there we go. Let's see if who we got into the booth at the moment. Sean Atkins and Elliot Borg. Let's have a quick chat with your winner, Elliot Borg, this evening. Good evening, Elliot. How are you, sir?
Hey, James. What's going on?
Was it that interesting for you that you fell asleep, mate?
Just a subtle dig, and
I knew where you were going to go with that. You know what I mean? Thanks, mate.
That was, I call this place Watkins Glen International Super Speedway in these cars because it's just so unbelievably fast. So once you're behind somebody, unless you can get past them in the DRS zone, it's incredibly hard to follow.
Yeah, it seems to me, mate, there was a lot of incidents and accidents tonight. So many people had so many, calls with the wall. There was people up in the air. The sprint race put about 8 cars up in the air all at the same time. It was just complete and utter chaos. Jay Smart was just seeing netcode everywhere around the track. But you've come away with 2 wins tonight of the sprint and the feature, so you've got to be happy.
Absolutely, yeah. That netcode in the sprint with Jay and Ryan Ryan, I thought, gave him the space. They both took the curbs they needed to. But Jay, like, all of a sudden flew off the track. And I'm glad I've got a fresh pair before I go to bed here.
Yeah, you're going to need it, mate, because I'll tell you what, when he come back on...
I thought you were already were in bed because I heard you snoring.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm breaking the illusion here.
Yeah, so you got to stop it, mate. If you're going to dig at me, you got to follow it all the way through. You know what I mean? Can't just stop halfway through.
You're sleep driving.
Yeah,
Do not sleep drive.
Yeah, digging at the fact that, there may have been a little incident when I may have fell asleep on Sunday. Anyway, back to the racing. We go on to the Nürburgring next week, bud. What's the plan for yourself at the Nürburgring?
That was actually the first track I ran with this series last year. So looking forward to getting back. Definitely glad that we're not running the giant track. Because we're already practicing that for the GT3 League.
Nordschleife.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the one that I can't say. No. But I'm just glad to be running the GP circuit. So it's a bunch of fun. Really looking forward to getting out there. Tire strategy will definitely be a factor as it was tonight.
Awesome stuff, mate. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you'll be able to wake up next time and make sure you make the race properly. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, first win. So wanted to give a shout out to my parents. So we actually just started karting a couple years ago. So it's something I do with my dad and my brother now. So it's a good time. It's taught me a lot. Just something that we all enjoy. So big shout out to my family and my wife for letting me get some new gear.
Awesome stuff, mate. Wow, God blimey, she was nice. Let you got some new gear as well.
Yeah. So one might say that Jay Smart and I are driving an equal machinery now.
Ooh. See,
Yeah, you might be driving in real F1 soon if you're going to start your karting career. So look out for that one.
Well, I've got to fit in the seat first.
Well, mate, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll catch up with you next week, buddy, hopefully.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
And you take care. Right, so next we'll bring in Sean Atkins into the booth. Sean, good evening, sir. How are you?
Brother, I am doing outstanding, man. How are you guys doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Thank you very much. It's good, nice, good evening. You're second place in the feature. How is it for you? How does it feel?
Dude, it's ridiculous. This is amazing. I am so freaking happy right now. Dylan was just calling lap times for me, the last part of it, making sure that I was matching or staying within the window to stay out in P2. And man, I could not be more excited. I tell you, I expected to be on the podium at this racetrack. I just did not expect it in this car.
Yeah, but you got it. And is that your first one of the season?
It is, absolutely, man. I have been a soup sandwich in this car from time to time, and today, just knowing this track like I do, we were here in the GT3 on Sunday, and we finished P4. So this was definitely a little bit easier track for me. I think that gave me some ability to stay within it. So when others did have some mistakes or some issues, I was able to capitalize and not have my own. But man, such a good race.
Awesome stuff. Well, glad you got a second bite at the cherry this week. Obviously, you were there on Sunday. I may have been somewhere else, but generally, overall, a fantastic evening of racing. Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Absolutely, my brother. I want to shout out to my teammates, both in the GT3 League and here in the F1. Dylan, Victoria's Secret, and Worst Case Scenario fellows for life. And thanks to Anthony and all the guys that put this stuff on, man. I've just had such a ball. Doesn't matter if I'm podium or not. It is so much fun racing here.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you for joining us, Sean, and we'll catch up. Hopefully, maybe catch up with you next week as well.
Hey, let's see. 2 in a row. Let's go for it.
Nah, man, you take care. Catch up with you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Right, and then we're going to bring in Daniel Johnson, the man who pulled out a masterstroke up 10 places by the end of the race. Started on the hards, pitted on lap 21, goes right to the end on the softs, finishes third place, and if I'm not mistaken, his first podium of the year. Daniel Johnson, congratulations, sir.
Thanks. That was a hell of a run. it was mostly just trying to not make mistakes because it seemed like everyone was making contact or going off track.
Yeah, there was a lot, and I will say it now, there was a lot of netcode around this evening. Jay Smart, unfortunately, becoming a cropper of it with Ryan O'Connor as well, and there was a lot of other netcode going on. So, you know, I think before people get sort of rah about the incidents, be aware there was a lot of netcode. We've looked at them quite a few times, but it doesn't matter, Dan, because you had to keep it on track, and you did do, and you took the third place.
Well, I mean, part of that is there aren't any real heavy braking zones in the track, so the overtaking opportunities are it's so hard to do. Like the DRS zone, I was only lifting going into the bus stop chicane down to sixth and then flat footing it out of there. So it's not really a passing opportunity unless you really get a good run. So yeah, it's not hard to see why there were so many netcode issues when you're going that fast, that close, and trying to pull off those kinds of moves.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the thing. The main thing for you was just keeping it on track tonight. And you did that amazingly well. And both me and Biggles have decided that you're the driver of the day. I don't know what you get, Dan. I'm not even sure if you get anything. But you got, congratulations and driver of the day from the commentators up in the booth. So, that's got to mean something.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That does mean a lot, especially after the last couple of weeks I've been struggling. Yeah,
mate, you've done an absolutely stellar job. Trust me, absolutely amazing. On to the Hungaro Ring we go next week. Dan, how'd you like it? Do you like it a lot or not a lot?
Oh, the Nürburgring? I love it. That was one of the first tracks I managed to start racing in this car. So I think I have a little bit of pace there.
Yeah, that should be good there, and hopefully we'll see you and manage to speak to you again. But Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
No, just had a great time. Hope to do this again real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you take care, Daniel, and we'll hopefully catch up with you next week.
Thanks.
So there you go, Biggles. Sum up the evening of racing in one sentence for you. Absolutely stellar night, and quite an expensive one, I think.
Yeah, you summed it up right there. An expensive race, but also an opportunity race for some of those drivers coming in clutch there and getting first-time podiums and a crucial points in the championship. Can't wait once again for next week's round. And I woke up just in time for this one, James, so glad I did, because it was certainly a thriller.
Yeah, it definitely was on that one. But guys, thank you so much for joining me and myself and Dean Biggles. So for now, guys, as always, it brings us to the end of the broadcast. And take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.